Did you write the music first or the words first? They came together?
Is same time, which is very typical for me.
By the way, just the way it opens, like how, intensity of openings. You ever think about like what the first few seconds sound like? Is that something that, like when you imagine a song, is it the opening you imagine?
No, it's kind of I never think opening. I never think final. I think soundscape of how I'm feeling right now. So it could be the middle of the song for all I know when I'm doing that. But my process for me is very much lyrics and melody and music really come at the same time. Like by same time, I mean I'm as I'm expressing, maybe, I'm feeling like like it's not that simple, but it's like I'll hear it like it's like here's all the orchestra and you're kind of just pressing all the buttons at once. And melody and my voice is just one of those instruments. You know what I mean? It's just utilizing one instrument.
So you're seeing the landscape, and that landscape includes melody, includes percussion, lyrics a little bit, or lyrics.
I will be words to begin with, like a word here and there. And like I'll be like, believe it. I'm like, what's a word that I'm thinking of when I'm feeling this soundscape? And I always create with no theme in mind. I'm never, for better or for worse, just my process is I'm sitting down and I'm writing a journal entry. Simple as that. It's like when you sit down to write a journal entry, are you sitting down and you're like, Kev, I had all these words here that I'm going to put on the page and I'm going to order it in this way. And my theme for my journal entry today is going to be this. Maybe some people do, but I don't. My journal entry is, I don't know what I'm going to say. Oh, how was today? Well, man, today was this and feeling this. And now that I think about that, I'm really angry about that. That hurt my feelings when this happened. You're formulating it as you go. And that's the joy of it. And for me, that's what music is. So I'll sit down, not thinking, hey, I've been wanting to write a song that has a hard beat, or I've been wanting to write a song that's anthemic, or I've been wanting to write a song that's, it's like, how am I feeling right now?
And it's joyful? Is the feeling joyful to you, or is it struggle? Because you just made it sound like it's
I think
joyful.
It's,
or at least
close.
Fulfilling.
I wouldn't use that. Yeah, fulfilling is the word I was kind of looking for. But there was,
because a lot of artists talk about really like you talk about writers.
Cathartic. That's the word I was. It feels like having a good moment with a therapist where you're like, okay, I'm expressing this thing that I just need to express. For whatever reason, I need to express this. The majority of the songs I write, for the record, are never heard. I write over 100 songs a year. I release 20 songs every 3 years. So I don't know, what's that percent? 20 out of 300. Come on, Lex.
It's
less than 10%.
Less than 10%, yeah.
8, 7 or something.
But yeah.
Anyway, so it's
and then like getting together with the band and like getting them selected down is really what the process of. So you're really writing a song per 1 to 3 days, kind of maybe a song that you can't quite figure out the puzzle of that's going to last a little longer. Is it where's the struggle?
Every idea.
Yeah. You finish every idea.
I do. I finish every idea.
So it's not just like laying completely unfinished.
No. I could open my computer for you right now and I would show you hundreds and hundreds of songs that you would listen to and think, that sounds like a song. It's like there's rhythm, there's melody, there's multiple instruments, there's lyrics. Like it's the same thing as for coding for me, which is music, which is I can't walk away until I've completed it.
But it's finished.
Finished is
but it sounds like a song.
I
like
certainly do a lot more with it after with the band where we pull it all apart. But it's a song. It'll be like, you'll listen to it and say, okay, that was a song. You understand what it is for sure.
Do you think, this is a painful question from a fan perspective, do you think there's genius on your computer that you walked away from that you just didn't notice it? Like, do you think there's truly great songs that you've written that you just didn't notice how great they are?
I think greatness is something that I feel I don't feel like I've achieved greatness. Genuine. I'm not saying that to you in a way of like humility.
It's like
humility.
Michael Jordan talk.
Genuinely, I feel like I am on a journey right now to find who I am. And I'm 34, and it's like, I haven't begun that journey. I feel like I'm just starting that. But that being said, I certainly don't know the right answer to what songs are, beloved or good to the masses. Like Imagine Dragons is such a massive entity. It's like, I will say this, there are a couple times where I've fought really hard to decide on the single, really hard. Or I always fight for what goes on the record. Always. I always put the record together, and that's the record that I want it to be. And me and the guys come up with that. And it's nobody else has influence, no manager, no label. The single, everybody wants to have a say in. Your label wants to have a say in it. Your manager wants to have a say in it. And I have fought really hard over that. And I've been wrong before, and I've been right before. But as far as songs that I haven't put out, I mean,
because you can imagine so many songs. You think of so many Beatles songs that are like some of their greats. While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Right.
I'm trying to imagine weird sounding, not that interesting, possibly songs.
The majority of what we put. Honestly, it may be our best stuff is that we don't put out, for instance, because our band is such a complex question. I really don't know, actually. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll die and people will look and be like, I hated Imagine Dragons, but now I listen to that song. I really like that. I wish they would put that out. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, it all sounds like shit. I don't really know.
Well, that's sorry. It is a tragic thing. That's why I asked it, which is like, there could be some great, incredible things that will take you a long time to rediscover, to realize how great they are. And it's also the tragic aspect of being an artist is you don't know, forget fame or all that kind of stuff. You don't know what's going to really move people, because ultimately what you want is to connect with people, and you don't know what that's going to be. It's hard. I mean, to me, it's tragic just as a fan of yours to see, maybe I wonder if there's like incredible stuff there. Just as it is tragic to see great artists throughout history who didn't get recognition until they died. It's like, because they basically held on, Franz Kafka was extremely self-critical. A lot of these folks had an idea of what's good and not, and they were wrong.
Right.
They had genius. Well, they weren't entirely wrong because they became sufficiently popular, but it's interesting.
I try to genuinely to release the songs that move me the most.
Got it. So
I'll say that.
You're an audience. You're your own audience.
Yeah, I try to put out the songs that make me feel the most. Like I feel that. That's my only gauge, because it's so subjective of like, what is good? What's this? Nobody knows the song the masses are going to like. Nobody knows that formula. Nobody knows it. So for me, it's always what makes me feel something. One of the main lessons Rick Rubin taught me when we worked with him on this record was his main point that he would continually bring up when, like, because he's not the type of person to be like, that's a bad song or that's good. It's just not who Rick Rubin is. It's more like there's more nuance to it. He would say, I don't really believe you on that song. That's what he would say. He would say, and I knew that was like, that song's a no-go.